My dear friends, destiny is not written in the stars, it's written in your schedule. Your future is hidden in your daily routine. If you want to know where you'll be 5 years from now, don't ask your astrologer. Just look at your habits today. Every morning when you wake up, you make a choice. You can either rise with purpose or roll over with excuses. And that one small choice, repeated every day, builds your destiny brick by brick. Let me tell you a small story. There were two friends, Aman and Rohan. Both had dreams of becoming successful entrepreneurs. Aman woke up early every morning, spent an hour reading, learning, and planning. Rohan, he woke up late, scrolled on his phone for hours, and said, "I'll start tomorrow." Aman used his mornings to sharpen his mind. Rohan used his mornings to scroll his feed. 5 years later, Aman had built a thriving business, and Rohan was still planning to start one. The difference? Just routine. It's not about who had more talent. It's about who had more discipline. We often overestimate the power of big decisions and underestimate the power of small habits. You don't need to make a life-changing move every day. You just need to make small positive moves consistently. Someone once told me, "Guruji, I want to change my life." I said, "Then change your mornings." Because your morning decides your mindset, and your mindset decides your actions, and your actions decide your results. If you win your morning, you win your day. And if you win your days, you win your life. But the truth is, most of us live our life reactively, not intentionally. We wake up and react to messages, to notifications, to problems. We start our day by responding to the world instead of responding to our purpose. Your daily habits shape your future. Such a simple line, yet it carries the secret to every success story you've ever heard. We often believe that destiny is something far away, something mysterious, something written in the stars. But in truth, destiny is written in your daily actions. It's not what you do once in a while that defines your future. It's what you do every single day. Your habits are like invisible threads, weaving the fabric of your life, slowly but surely creating the masterpiece you will one day call your destiny. Think about it. Every sunrise gives you a new chance to design your day, and every sunset records what you actually did with that chance. If you spend your day learning, growing, improving, helping others, those actions are writing a story of progress. But if you spend your days carelessly, wasting time on things that drain your energy or distract your focus, your future will quietly take the shape of those choices too. Destiny is not built overnight. It's built over countless days filled with small, ordinary decisions. Let's take a simple example. Imagine two young men working in the same office. One, every morning, reaches work 10 minutes early, spends a few quiet minutes planning his tasks, and greets everyone with warmth. The other one always rushes in late, holding a cup of coffee in one hand and a phone in the other, already stressed, already distracted. After a few years, their paths will not look the same. The first one, through small daily habits of discipline, focus, and kindness, will likely find himself trusted with leadership roles. The second, with no consistent routine, will still be struggling to catch up. The difference wasn't luck, it was daily habits. Every great person, from athletes to spiritual leaders, understands this truth deeply. A successful athlete doesn't win the medal On the day of the competition, they win it in the thousands of hours of practice, discipline, and sweat before that day. The day of the victory is just the visible result of invisible effort. Similarly, if you want a peaceful, meaningful, and fulfilling life, you must plant the seeds of right habits every single day. We underestimate the power of the small things. Reading a page a day doesn't seem much. Exercising for 10 minutes looks too little. Saving a small amount of money looks like it won't make a difference. But when these actions are done consistently, the results are magical. Reading 1 page a day becomes 30 pages a month, 365 pages a year. That's a whole book. A short daily workout turns into a stronger, healthier body over time. Small savings grow into financial freedom. Life rewards consistency, not occasional effort. But building good habits requires patience and self-awareness. Many people say, "I'll start tomorrow," but tomorrow often never comes. The problem isn't that they don't know what to do, it's that they haven't realized how much their habits are shaping their future in silence. Each time you choose to delay what's good for you, you push your destiny a little further away. And each time you take a small positive action, even when it's uncomfortable, you move closer to your desired life. Imagine your life as a garden. Your daily habits are the seeds you plant. If you plant seeds of negativity, procrastination, laziness, and distraction, that's what will grow. But if you plant seeds of positivity, discipline, kindness, and learning, your garden will bloom beautifully. The tricky part is that results take time. When you plant a seed, it doesn't become a tree overnight. It needs care, sunlight, and patience. Similarly, good habits take time to show their reward, but they always do. Sometimes people say, "But what difference does it make if I skip one day?" The truth is, every day matters because habits are built on repetition. Every time you repeat an action, you strengthen a pattern in your brain, making it easier next time. Skipping once might seem harmless, but it weakens your discipline muscle. Think of it like brushing your teeth. You don't skip brushing just because you did it yesterday. You do it daily because you value hygiene. Why not apply the same logic to your dreams, your peace, your growth? There is also something deeply spiritual about habits. When you commit to a routine, you train not just your body, but also your mind and soul. You start gaining control over your impulses. You stop reacting to life and start responding with clarity. You learn the beauty of structure and the calm that comes from consistency. Habits are like prayers you do through actions, quiet, repetitive, but powerful. They align your inner world with your outer world. Let's take a relatable moment. Imagine a person who spends 10 minutes every morning in gratitude, just writing down what they're thankful for. It sounds small, but over time, this person's mindset begins to change. Instead of complaining, they start noticing blessings. Instead of focusing on problems, they begin to see opportunities. That's the power of habit. It doesn't just change your schedule, it changes your perception. And when your perception changes, your life changes. So the next time you think of destiny, don't look for signs in the stars. Look for patterns in your day. Do your habits reflect the life you want? If you dream of success, are your habits leading you toward it? If you dream of peace, are your habits calming your mind or cluttering it? If you dream of love and kindness, Are your actions showing it? Life doesn't give you what you wish for, it gives you what you work for. Repeatedly and quietly, through your daily choices. In the end, destiny is not something that happens to you, it's something you create, step by step, day by day. Your habits are your silent architects, building the life you're destined to live. So choose them wisely, protect them fiercely, because your future isn't waiting for you somewhere, it's being created by you right now, in this very moment, with the habits you choose to follow today. Win your morning, win your life. It's a truth that sounds simple, but it holds the power to transform everything about the way you live. The way you start your day creates a silent rhythm that echoes through every moment that follows. Each morning is like a blank canvas, and how you paint those first few hours determines whether your day becomes a masterpiece of productivity and peace, or a chaotic mess of stress and distraction. Your mornings are not just the beginning of your day, they are the foundation of your destiny. Imagine two people waking up at the same time. One opens his eyes with gratitude, takes a few deep breaths, stretches his body, spends a few minutes in silence or prayer, and sets an intention for the day. The other person wakes up and immediately grabs his phone, scrolling through social media, messages, and news, feeding his mind with noise before he's even had a chance to breathe. Both have the same 24 hours ahead, but their days will not unfold the same way. The first has chosen awareness, the second, reaction. The difference may seem small, but it's the difference between designing your day and being driven by it. Your morning decides your mindset, and your mindset decides your actions. A calm, focused start creates clarity, while a rushed, distracted start breeds confusion. If you begin your day feeling peaceful and grounded, you are far more likely to face challenges with patience, creativity, and strength. But if you start your morning in a hurry, chasing time, you'll spend the entire day feeling like time is chasing you. Think of your morning as the command center of your day. It's when you program your mind and emotions for what's ahead. If you fill that time with negativity, checking problems, comparing yourself to others, or replaying past regrets, you are programming your mind for struggle. But if you fill it with positive energy, reading something inspiring, reflecting on what matters, or taking care of your body, you're programming your mind for victory. The morning is not just a routine, it's a spiritual practice of preparation. Many of the world's most successful people protect their mornings fiercely. They know that what happens before 9 a.m. often decides what happens for the next 9 hours. A student who wakes up early to study calmly before school feels confident throughout the day. A business leader who begins with meditation and exercise makes better decisions. A parent who takes a few moments to breathe and plan finds it easier to handle their responsibilities with love instead of frustration. The way you treat your morning shows how much you respect your life. But winning your morning doesn't mean following a rigid formula. It's about creating a space where your mind, body, and soul can align. For one person, it may mean prayer; for another, a jog; for someone else, journaling or gratitude. What matters is not what you do, but that you do it intentionally. Your morning should nourish you, not drain you. It should remind you that you are in control of your life, not just a passenger in it. There's a saying, Lose an hour in the morning, and you'll spend all day trying to find it. How true that is! If you start late, skip breakfast, or rush through your routine, your mind carries that hurried energy all day. But if you take time to slow down, even for 15 minutes, and breathe, you begin your day with ownership instead of chaos. It's like tuning a musical instrument. If you tune it right in the morning, the whole day plays in harmony. Let's picture a simple morning ritual. You wake up, open your curtains, and let the morning light touch your face. You whisper a quiet thank you for being alive, for having another chance to live, learn, and love. You drink a glass of water to awaken your body. Maybe you sit silently for a few minutes, meditating or praying. You smile, thinking about one good thing you want to do today. These little moments, though they take only a few minutes, fill your heart with strength. They remind you that before you run into the world, you must first return to yourself. Most people live like fire extinguishers, waking up only to put out fires, late meetings, messages, worries, chaos. But if you master your morning, you no longer live reacting to problems. You live creating possibilities. You become proactive, not reactive. You become the author of your day, not a character in someone else's script. It's also about what you don't do in the morning. Don't fill your first moments with other people's opinions, news, or negativity. The mind is like soft clay in the morning. It takes the shape of whatever you press into it first. If the first thing you read is criticism or fear, your day will carry that energy. But if the first thing you feel is gratitude or faith, your day will radiate that energy. Protect the first hour of your morning as if it was sacred, because it truly is. Some may say, I'm not a morning person. But it's not about being a morning person. It's about being a purpose-driven person. You don't need to wake up at 4 a.m. to succeed. You just need to wake up with intention. Even if your day starts later, start it with awareness. Whether you rise at dawn or mid-morning, give yourself that space to begin right. Over time, when you treat your mornings with respect, something amazing happens. You start loving your life more. You feel calmer, more focused, more grateful. The world doesn't change, but your way of facing it does. Challenges seem smaller, and moments of joy seem bigger, because you're no longer rushing through life. You're living it consciously. So tomorrow morning, when your alarm rings, remember you are not just waking up to another day, you are waking up to another opportunity to build the life you dream of. Instead of saying, oh no, it's morning, say, yes, it's morning, another chance to win my day. Take those first few minutes as your personal meeting with yourself. Look in the mirror and smile. Tell yourself that today you will live with purpose. Your morning is your declaration to the universe that you are ready to grow, ready to give, ready to live fully. Because once you learn to win your morning, you automatically start winning your life. Discipline is the bridge between dreams and reality. It's the silent force that transforms what we wish for into what we live. So many people dream. They dream of success, of peace, of health, of happiness, but few are willing to walk the bridge that connects those dreams to real life. That bridge is built of consistent effort, small sacrifices, and unwavering focus. Discipline doesn't shout. It whispers every morning, asking, will you do what's needed? Even when you don't feel like it, we often admire people who achieve greatness, athletes, artists, leaders, or spiritual teachers, and we call them talented or lucky. But if you look closely, what separates them is not luck or talent, but discipline. Talent can open the first door, but discipline is what keeps you walking through every door that follows. Discipline is waking up when the world still sleeps, practicing when no one watches, and staying true to your purpose when distractions call your name. Let's think of a simple, everyday example. Imagine someone who decides to get fit. The dream is clear: to be healthier, stronger, and confident. The first few days, motivation is high. The person wakes up early, goes for a run, feels proud. But then the alarm rings one cold morning, and the bed feels too warm to leave. The next day they say, "I'll start again tomorrow," and slowly the dream fades. Motivation is like a spark. It burns bright but doesn't last long. Discipline is the fuel that keeps the fire alive, even when the spark dies. It's what makes you run not because you feel inspired, but because you made a commitment to yourself. Discipline is not about being strict. It's about being loyal to your own goals. It's not punishment. It's self-respect. It's the way you prove to yourself that you are serious about the life you want. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, whether it's finishing a task, avoiding a bad habit, or choosing effort over comfort, you strengthen your inner character. You become someone your future self can rely on. There's a beautiful story about a sculptor. Someone once asked him, "How do you create such beautiful statues?" He replied, "I don't create them. The statue is already inside the stone. I just remove the unnecessary parts." That's what discipline does. It chips away at laziness, fear, excuses, and distractions until the best version of you is revealed. Discipline isn't about adding pressure. It's about removing what doesn't serve you. Think of a student preparing for an exam. One chooses to study a little every day, even when tired, while another keeps delaying until the last moment. When the results arrive, it's not intelligence that made the difference. It's discipline. The first student showed up daily, whether in the mood or not. That daily discipline became invisible success. Similarly, in life, the small consistent actions, waking up early, managing time, being kind, practicing gratitude, may seem ordinary, but they build extraordinary lives. Discipline teaches patience. It shows that real success doesn't happen instantly. It's not about rushing to the finish line, but about trusting the process. A tree doesn't grow overnight. The gardener waters it daily, even when there's no sign of progress. That's faith combined with discipline. You must believe that your efforts today will bloom tomorrow. We live in a world of instant gratification, quick entertainment, fast results, immediate approval. But discipline asks for the opposite: to delay pleasure for a greater reward, to say no to comfort today so that you can say yes to success tomorrow. It's choosing to study instead of scrolling, to save instead of spending, to exercise instead of sleeping in. It's these quiet choices that slowly but surely transform your life. There will be days when discipline feels hard, days when you'll question, is it worth it? Those are the days when most people give up. But if you push through those moments, you'll notice something magical. Your resistance becomes your strength. Every time you choose to do what's right instead of what's easy, you build mental muscle. And soon, the things that once felt hard will become your new normal. Even spiritually, discipline has deep meaning. Prayer, meditation, gratitude, all of these require discipline. You may not always feel like connecting with your inner self, but when you make it a daily habit, your mind begins to find peace more easily. You start responding to life instead of reacting to it. The same applies to relationships. Being disciplined in how you listen, how you speak, how you show up for others. That's how love deepens and trust grows. There's also beauty in the fact that discipline brings freedom. At first, it may feel restrictive, following routines, saying no to distractions, pushing yourself when tired. But over time, you realize that discipline frees you from regret, chaos, and failure. A person without discipline is like a ship without direction, drifting wherever the wind blows. A disciplined person, on the other hand, sails steadily, no matter how rough the sea. Think of anyone you admire: a teacher, a leader, an artist, a monk. Behind their calm presence or great success lies a daily routine of discipline. It's the hours of unseen effort, the moments when they kept going while others gave up. That's why their life shines. They didn't just dream, they built their dreams brick by brick through disciplined action. So, if you truly desire change, not temporary excitement, but lasting transformation, discipline must become your best friend. It won't always feel good, but it will always lead you somewhere good. Each day that you choose discipline over distraction, you move closer to the person you were meant to be. Remember, your dreams are waiting on the other side of your comfort zone. And the only way to cross that bridge is with discipline, steady, patient, and committed. Because dreams without discipline are just wishes, but dreams with discipline become your reality. When you know your why, it becomes easier to stick to your how. The moment you discover your reason, your deeper purpose behind what you do, everything begins to align. Life stops feeling like a random series of struggles and starts to feel like a meaningful journey. The truth is, when your why is strong enough, your excuses lose their power. The strength to wake up early, to stay consistent, to push through difficulty, it doesn't come from willpower alone, it comes from purpose. Purpose is the silent fire that burns inside you when everything else around you feels cold. Think of someone who wakes up before dawn every morning to exercise. If you ask why, one person might say, "Because I want to look good." Another might say, "Because I want to stay healthy for my children." The first might give up when it gets hard, but the second will keep going because their why runs deeper. When your reason touches your heart, not just your ego, it becomes your source of strength. Motivation fades, purpose endures. Let's take an example from daily life. A student preparing for exams often feels tired and frustrated. The hours seem long, the books heavy, the lessons endless. But then the student remembers the dream: to make their parents proud, to build a better future, to contribute something meaningful to the world. Suddenly, the tiredness feels lighter. The same effort becomes bearable, even inspiring. The books haven't changed, but the perspective has. That's the power of a clear why. It transforms struggle into service and effort into purpose. When you have a strong why, You stop asking, "Do I have to do this?" and start saying, "I get to do this." You see your challenges differently. Instead of seeing obstacles, you see opportunities to prove your commitment. Purpose gives direction to your energy. Without it, life becomes a cycle of business, full of activity but empty of meaning. You might be doing 100 things, but none of them will satisfy your soul if they aren't connected to something deeper. Many people live like travelers without a destination. They wake up, go through their routines, chase goals that society tells them to chase: money, fame, comfort, yet feel unfulfilled. It's because they never stop to ask, "Why am I doing this?" The moment you find your why, you no longer chase success, success starts following you. Purpose is magnetic. It attracts clarity, people, and opportunities that align with your heart. Think of a teacher who spends hours preparing lessons, repeating the same concepts year after year. From the outside, it might look repetitive, but for that teacher, every child who learns, every spark of curiosity, every smile of understanding is her why. That's what gives her patience and joy. The paycheck is just a result. The purpose is what keeps her alive. Even in small daily habits, a strong why makes a difference. For example, someone may decide to meditate every morning. At first, it feels like a task, sitting still, trying to focus. But when that person connects the practice to peace of mind, better relationships, and emotional balance, meditation stops being a chore. It becomes a necessity, a sacred act of self-care. When the heart understands the purpose, the body follows easily. Your why also gives you courage. Life will test you no matter how focused you are. There will be days of doubt, exhaustion, and temptation to quit. But when you have a clear purpose, you'll remember what you're fighting for. A person climbing a mountain doesn't stop because the path is steep. They keep going because they remember the view waiting at the top. That vision, that why, keeps them moving. In relationships too, knowing your why creates strength. If your reason for loving someone is shallow, based on appearance or convenience, it won't last when challenges come. But if your reason is rooted in care, understanding, and genuine connection, you'll stand by them even when it's not easy. True love has a purpose, not just passion. Even spiritual practices revolve around this truth. Prayer without understanding feels mechanical, but when you know your why, when you pray not just to ask for things, but to express gratitude and connect with something greater, every word becomes alive, every silence becomes sacred. That's how purpose transforms actions from empty rituals into meaningful experiences. Let's take the example of someone working a job they don't love. Many people drag themselves to work each day, complaining and feeling stuck. But imagine if that same person decided to shift their perspective. Maybe they start seeing their job as a way to support their family or as a stepping stone toward their dream. Suddenly, the same office, the same tasks feel different. The work hasn't changed, the why has. When you attach meaning to your work, even ordinary moments start feeling extraordinary. When your why is weak, you depend on motivation, and motivation is like the weather, it changes every day. Some days you'll feel inspired, others you won't. But when your why is strong, it becomes like the sun, constant, shining from within. no matter how cloudy the day looks. Motivation comes from outside, purpose comes from inside. Sometimes your why isn't about you at all. The most powerful reasons often involve others, family, community, or humanity. When your effort becomes a form of service, it gains depth. A person who works not just to earn, but to uplift others, finds a level of fulfillment that no material success can offer. Purpose gives you the strength to endure what others can't and to smile where others give up. So if life ever feels heavy, don't rush to change your path. First, reconnect with your why. Ask yourself, why did I start? Why does this matter? Why should I continue? The answers will remind you of your strength. When you know your why, you no longer need to chase motivation. Your purpose becomes your energy. You'll walk with confidence even through chaos. You'll find joy even in small victories. Because in the end, your why is not just a reason, it's your anchor, your compass, and your light. It's what gives your routine its rhythm, your struggle its meaning, and your life its direction. Once you know it, every morning becomes a mission, every task becomes sacred, and every moment becomes a step toward becoming who you were meant to be. Discipline is the bridge between dreams and reality. It's the invisible thread that ties your intentions to your outcomes. You can have the best vision, the most powerful motivation, and even the deepest purpose. But without discipline, everything fades into wishful thinking. Discipline is the quiet power that transforms ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. It doesn't shout, it doesn't demand attention, but it builds empires, crafts success stories, and gives your life the structure it needs to shine. Think about a sculptor working on a rough piece of marble. Each day, he chisels away, bit by bit, shaping something beautiful. At first, it looks like nothing, just a block of stone. But he keeps going, not because he feels inspired every day, but because he is disciplined. Slowly, over time, the statue emerges. That's how discipline works in our lives. It turns the rough stone of our potential into the masterpiece of our destiny. Discipline isn't about being hard on yourself. It's about being committed to what truly matters. It's the act of showing up even when you don't feel like it. Many people wait for motivation to strike before they act. But the truth is, motivation is unreliable. It's like the wind, sometimes strong, sometimes gone. Discipline, however, is like the engine. It keeps moving no matter the weather. You can't depend on feeling good to do good. You must depend on discipline. Take a simple example, waking up early. Everyone loves the idea of a productive morning, but when the alarm rings, comfort pulls us back to sleep. Discipline is that inner voice that whispers, "Get up, your dreams are waiting." It's what makes you step out of bed, not because it's easy, but because you've made a promise to yourself. That's the key. Discipline is self-respect in action. Every time you honor your commitment, you build trust with yourself. And that self-trust becomes the foundation of confidence. Discipline also means doing the small things right, even when no one's watching. Success doesn't come from big, dramatic actions, it comes from small, consistent habits. For example, if you want to stay healthy, it's not about doing a crash diet for a week. It's about eating mindfully every day. If you want to grow in your career, it's not about one burst of effort. It's about showing up, learning, and improving consistently. Life rewards consistency, not intensity. Let's take the story of a young musician. When he first starts learning the guitar, his fingers hurt, his chords sound wrong, and progress feels slow. Many would give up, but the one who continues, practicing daily, tuning his instrument, enduring the discomfort, that's the one who later fills concert halls. It wasn't talent alone that took him there, it was discipline. Talent might open the door, but discipline keeps you inside the room. Discipline also teaches patience, a rare quality in today's world of instant gratification. We live in a time where everyone wants quick results, quick money, quick fame, quick success. But anything that comes quickly usually fades quickly. Discipline helps you build things that last. It teaches you that real progress is slow, steady, and silent. Like a tree that grows its roots before it shows its branches, discipline helps you build a foundation before expecting fruit. In relationships, discipline is just as important. It takes discipline to listen with patience, to forgive instead of reacting, to stay loyal when temptations arise. Love without discipline becomes emotional chaos. Love with discipline becomes emotional growth. When you choose to respond with kindness instead of anger, you're practicing emotional discipline, and that's what makes relationships last. Discipline also brings freedom, a truth that seems contradictory but is deeply powerful. At first, it feels restrictive. You can't sleep in, you can't eat junk, you can't waste time scrolling endlessly. But soon you realize that discipline gives you control over your life. It frees you from laziness, bad habits, and regret. The disciplined person doesn't live a smaller life, they live a more meaningful one. Freedom without discipline is chaos. Discipline without freedom is control. The balance of both is mastery. Think of athletes. Every day they train hard, follow strict diets, and sacrifice comfort. Many people admire their success, but forget the routine behind it. Discipline is the unseen training behind every victory. It's what makes champions rise before dawn, while others are still dreaming. It's what makes them repeat the same drills until perfection. The applause they receive on the stage is only the echo of their disciplined mornings when no one was watching. In spirituality, too, discipline is vital. A person who prays, meditates, or reflects daily doesn't do it because every day feels divine. Some days the mind wanders, some days the heart feels heavy. Yet they return again and again because they know discipline builds connection. Every day you show up for your inner growth, you strengthen your soul's muscles. Discipline makes your spiritual journey steady, even through storms. Discipline also sharpens your mind. It trains you to focus on what's important and ignore distractions. In a world overflowing with noise, discipline is your filter. It helps you say no to what doesn't serve your purpose. Whether it's social media gossip or procrastination, discipline helps you protect your time and energy. Remember, your life becomes what you give attention to. If you discipline your attention, you discipline your destiny. Even the most successful people face moments of weakness. The difference is, they don't let feelings decide their actions. They let discipline do that. Feelings are temporary, but disciplined habits are permanent. The more disciplined you are, the less you depend on fleeting emotions. You don't wait to feel inspired to work, you work to feel inspired. And yes, discipline can be uncomfortable. It will test your patience, your willpower, and your focus. But every time you choose discipline over distraction, you grow stronger. Every time you say no to temptation, your inner power multiplies. Over time, what once felt difficult becomes natural. The gym that once felt like punishment becomes your energy source. The routine that once felt strict becomes your rhythm. That's the beauty of discipline. It transforms pain into power. So, if you truly want to change your destiny, don't wait for motivation, build discipline. Because discipline is love in action. It's how you show love for your dreams, your health, your growth, and your future. Remember, a disciplined routine today creates a peaceful life tomorrow. Success isn't built in a day, it's built daily. And the tool that builds it is discipline, the quiet force that turns ordinary days into extraordinary destinies.